back for another quick yomp around Clipston Old Quarter this evening on another survey for glowworms to see whether there's been any improvement. There must be some improvement in the numbers. I recorded the first two here on the 18th of May. Some of you that watched that video may well recall John Maxwell came up here on the 30th of May and he also had the two. I next came up exactly a week ago today on the 2nd of June and again had two, but they are 6 different females. We've not been counting the same female. What we're going to get tonight, I've no idea, but in the last video I was very worried. I've never known the start to a glowing season the same as this one. But it's very breezy. I intend this to be a fairly brisk walk around, and we're also expecting rain too, like the good old days when we used to get soaking wet before we went home to the summer result. So we'll see what count we can get here at Clipston Old Quarter this evening. Well, as most of you will know that's watched these videos before, I go through on a long particular survey route, and that starts off with section O. I've gone through section O, no glowworms in there, and I'm now at the junction of sections O, L and K. What I'll do now is I'll go along at sections L and M and then come back through these two sections before going up sections K and J and then coming down the grass strip of sections D, C, B and A. But it's very breezy today, so I've got to be careful where I do a piece to camera from. But Nightjar has just been calling, but it's now walk along sections L and M, see whether we've got any females. Seems I'm disturbing the local wood pigeons, but just working my way up section K now. I've been along sections L and M and come back through those two sections. Did manage to find one female at, well, near the junction of sections L and M, but just inside L. But it was low down in the grass, and so I couldn't get to film it. I'm hoping that there'll be one or two perhaps in section J again. It is possible, but otherwise no glowworms at all apart from the one, but at least we've got one. Well, I'm just over halfway up section K and we have a second glowworm, and the first one in section K this year, so it's already starting to look better than on previous visits. This one is also quite far down, but it is viewable and gettable by the camera. It's the perfect night for glowworms despite the breezy conditions. It's very mild, and even with rain it won't stop them glowing. So we do have a second. Looks like we're going to beat the highest count of the year so far of 2. We just need one more to do that. Well, we have a third, and it's a female in the grass strip of section D. I've just gone into the grass strip. I don't like going into it too much now because I've already pulled off 12 ticks off me this year alone from various places, including here. But very surprised, very pleasantly surprised to see this female here. She's actually tucked in a bit of bramble, but glowing nicely. There's no male in attendance, at least that I can see. I don't want to put the light on if I can help it, but a nice female with a full set of glowing plates and the 2 anal plates too. Excellent. Never thought I'd be celebrating 3, but maybe we'll get a few more through section, well, the rest of section D and through section C, B and A. We shall see. I actually love walking around in the forest when it's a night like this, when it's breezy, or windy actually, to be honest, and it's blowing through the tops of the trees, and thankfully the rain has held off. But 3 glowworms, which is 50% improvement on the 2 in previous visits here. What the cause is, don't know. There could be many factors. This place has really been hammered over the years. It's gone through the felling and clearance process, which really did smash it up. It's been set on fire at one point many years ago. Dillis and I got here at 1:45 in the morning, and there was a nice little fire going just at the bottom of section D. Someone had come on and dumped a load of rubbish. There's been other bits of rubbish, but over the years the place has been put through it. All could add up to the lack of glowworms, and of course the grass strip here scrubbed over, that's the biggest cause without a doubt. But one of the things that Dillis and I used to worry about is before they removed the pines, because those pines provided lots of shelter and kept some of the site in shade. Now the pines have gone, the site has been opened up, it's become drier, the sun gets to it more, and it's more open to the elements, and not good for glowworms. We always suspected something like that might happen. And it's not just a sudden problem either, it's one that's been evolving really, or developing over the years. But the primary factor, I think, to the lack of glowworms this year was the spring that we had, the very early spring, very dry spring, and warm as well. Not good for glowworms in the larval stage. But things will almost certainly pick up, at least I hope so. Another week and we're into 30 days, which is usually the period where the main maximum counts are reached after the first glowworms have appeared. So we'll see what it's like then, and I'll come back in a week's time. Otherwise now, just got the last bit of section A to go through, and it looks as though there won't be any. There's been none in C, been none in B, but there may be one lurking away somewhere in the recesses of section A, and it's home for a cup of tea or similar beverage.